Hey guys, HDPolarBear here, bring you some Warcraft 2 replays. This is the first best of 3 Warcraft 3 3 replay that I've decided to cast. The main reason for this is that Crota is a known shoutcaster, both Warcraft and Starcraft. A very nice shoutcaster, and I recommend him highly. And I watch most of his replays as well, but he doesn't put out a lot of Warcraft 3 content. He has, I think, Warcraft 3 Wednesdays where he casts like ranging from 2 to 6 videos, and I enjoy them immensely, and thus I decided to cast my own Warcraft 3 replays, and I hope you guys will perhaps like, comment, or even favorite, and just let me know if this is something you would like to watch and see in the future. This is a best of 3 between human and Panda, the light blue Undead player. Highly skilled players, a highly ranked replay pack I got. So we see here on the minimap that the Acolyte is moving out, passing this tavern here. I think yeah, he is training out the Death Knight, so there will be no tavern hero from the Undead player, and we have a Mountain King from the red human player. This is not that odd, but I suspected an Archmage, and he is producing footmen of his one barrack. It will be interesting to see what he will transition into. Will it be mortars or sorcerers? And the Undead player just keeps scouting, and there's just some, they're just feeling each other out at the moment. We have some more ghouls being produced, but and of course they are needed to harvest some lumber. And here we have the first engagement of the game at the neutral camp. The Mountain King just killing that renegade wizard, no real contest there, and the 2 level 3 bandits here. This will not provide level 2, but this creep camp will, so that's probably what he's aiming for. But he needs to be careful. This militia, soon to be just plain peasants, as you can see, will take some damage from it, but of course it's over now. So we have the Death Knight just monitoring the human player, and the human player trying to shoo him away, shoo Death Knight, and the Death Knight should perhaps consider creeping out his own creep camps. And the Acolyte here going to be focused. Nice Stormbolt here, and not quite a surround, but the Stormbolt did the job. And there is the level 2, not something that the Death Knight wanted to do, giving the Mountain King level 2. And some odd critter here, flying sheep. Only in Warcraft 3 would you see this. You're free to point a game out that has flying sheep. I would be interested into checking that out. And a free experience again from the Death Knight. I'm not sure what he's thinking, just summoning this skeletons from the Rod of Necromancy bought at the Tomb of Relics. Of course, the shop that provides unique and good items for the Undead heroes. And here we have an engagement, a level 6 creep camp. Pretty good decision from the human player. He sees that the Death Knight is level below, and he has the numbers, so he needs to make sure he surrounds this golem, because the Death Knight, he doesn't want him to steal any items or any experience, and of course he can't death call the golem because it's immune. But the Death Knight is just being annoying, trying to get some experience, but then the human player, the Mountain King, being smart, trying to deny that experience. As you saw, he passed one peasant and denied some experience, but still the Death Knight got half to level 2 with I think 2 footmen or 1 footman and a peasant kill. He's just tacking up here, the Undead player, with some Nerubian towers, adding a cold effect if the human player decides to run into the gold mine and trying to kill off some acolytes, reducing the economic state of the Undead player. And here we have maybe the only race that does indeed fast expand is the human race, because they can build up a town hall so damn quickly with all those peasants working on the same building. And now finally the Undead player is trying to creep out. Maybe it's too little too late, we never know. You never know what happens in these matches, but he needs to be careful about this lighting shield here. It will damage all surrounding units, and actually quite smart there, going in front of the creep. And here we have a renegade wizard. It's going to be important who gets this one, because this does give quite a lot of experience. But the Mountain King did get it, and he did got a nice +6 class of attack item that the Death Knight probably didn't want him to get. I'm suspecting he didn't want that to happen. But we have a up and running expansion here from the human player, so he's got the economic lead, and now he's just trying to contain the Undead player, focusing this spider down, already death coiled, so the cooldown not and the Death Knight didn't even have mana for another death coil, so another easy experience here from the human player. And getting Slippers of Agility, not really good at him. Most likely will be sold at the Arcane Arcane Vault, or at a Goblin Merchant. And the Undead player just trying to keep up the creeping, and like I said earlier, it's a little bit late, and the human player just pressing his advantage with his footman and the higher level hero. And the Undead player, of course, realizing that he needs to stay on the Blight to get the 200% regeneration, but a nice Frost Nova there from the Lich that newly introduced into the battle, and a nice deny there from the experience, killing one of his own footmen. He's been doing this the whole game, so pretty nice there. And the Undead player too busy trying to camp this out, giving the human player 2 skeletons that will provide some minor experience. But the Lich Bane being introduced into the fight, and an obsidian statue. Will we get the destroyer form? That's of course the upgrade from for the obsidian statues, but the obsidian statue will of course provide some mana regeneration or health regeneration, which is something he opted to go for. And this is a great nuking team here, Lich and a Death Knight. Will we see a paladin from the human player, so he can nuke as well, but he got the Goblin Zeppelin here, trying to go for the acolytes, reducing the minerals, reducing the gold that the Undead player is going to receive. But here we have a Goblin Zapper. Of course, this is to destroy buildings. Will probably explode here, and yeah, killing the Nerubian tower that slows the only defensive tower building the Undead player had. A good pickup here from the Zeppelin of 2 wounded soldiers here, and the human player getting away without any casualties that I saw, at least. We have here Wand of Illusion, and as you can see, the Undead heroes have some very bad items, but the Mountain King is stacked of good items. A good death call here to killing the footman, providing some experience. Of course, this is a game of experience, so it's natural for us to assume that the human player is in some lead, but he only has 1 hero, level 3 hero, almost 4 I think, against level 2 and level 2, so that should be quite even. I'm wondering if yeah, he is producing a paladin like I thought, and here he is researching defend and getting an Arcane Sanctum, probably from the slow. No, it's for spellbreakers. I thought he would get sorcerers or priests for the healing effect or the slow effect, but that's not something he's concerned. He's only going for the spellbreakers, probably because he's expecting destroyer form. And now it seems that the Undead player is level 3 Death Knight, level 2 Death Coil, so that's going to do like 150 damage or something like that. And again, the human player drops at the gold mine, trying to do some damage. And but he's getting attacked at his expansion. Does he have a skull of teleportation? He does, and he is teleporting back, and the paladin is going to join the fight through this narrow ravine or passage through the forest here. And even one rogue passing on that paladin. Who's going to come ahead in this team fight? The one spider, one cryptid being focused down, but being death coiled by the the Death Knight, and here we have a lot of units just focusing two Crypt Wings that are in fact illusions, so I think the Undead player should have some advantage here trying to kill the Goblin Shredder. Of course, it's a it's cost a lot, this unit, and killing the Goblin Shredder, but a lot of militia being introduced into the fight, so I think the Undead player needs to get the heck out of there. Good death call here on the Lids that got healed and stun bolted at the same time, being nuked to almost like 50 HP, but a death call saving that. And here we have a burrowed Crypt Fiend, but I think the Mountain King has Dust of Appearance, so he can actually detect that. And now the Undead player did decide to get the heck out of there, because this is a fight he cannot win with all this militia and spellbreakers being introduced into the fight. But a good frost armor here on the obsidian statue, because it's the slowest unit and it is in the back with 90 HP, and there are 4 spellbreakers just gunning for it, wanting to kill it. A bit of a bad pathing there. And is it 20 HP here? But the Undead player decides to kill his own unit, and a good Stormbolt here on the Lids. What is the Lids going to do? There's nothing the Lids can do. A good transfer there. The Death Knight running and giving the Lids a Skull of Town portal, and should be death calling it. No, a good Stormbolt there from the Mountain King killing it. And yeah, the Mountain King, the Death Knight didn't have enough mana to save the Lids, so wasted Skull of Town portal, I would say, and a GG coming in there. We saw it the entire time the human player had the advantage, and he just went for it. So stay tuned for the next game.